At the beginning of the movie, we are shown Xing Hospital, a haunted hospital where many people were burnt to death due to fire one night. A city councilor claimed that he have seen a woman in red making rounds in the hospital ward. We then see a host named Yanjin telling that she is currently at the #1 supernatural location voted online. In 1991, this hospital had many cases of suicide. A boy had died suddenly after a successful heart surgery, in whose grief his mother had burned herself to death right in front of her son. After that, strange things constantly happened at this hospital. A cameraman then enters the hospital to record the place, where he gets scared by something and they all flee, and the door shuts after they leave. We then see a father and son who organize underworld tours, in which they claim to make people see their deceased loved ones. They are waiting for two girls who have booked this tour, but they have not come yet. Hung's dad is a priest and he has been training him for this for 1 year. But he is not interested in this work and wants to go to Taipei to get a job. Now after some time Xiaoling comes there and tells the priest that her husband died here. He loved her very much, that's why she knows that he would not have gone. The priest says her husband must be in limbo, in between death and reincarnation. A soul in limbo doesn't know that he is dead, and fights for survival. It's a never-ending cycle. The more she comes to seek him, the more he can't be released. Knowing all this, Xiaoling still requests him to make her see her husband, to which the priest says when the time comes, don't regret it. Only then the other girl named Mayoro also reaches there, and they begin to prepare for the ritual. After a while, someone touches the priest, and he tells it seems like they are already here. Hung then gives them the charm to put on their left chest and asks them not to remove it no matter what happens. The priest then asks them to follow him, and after they leave, the chair moves on its own. He takes them to a morgue and asks them to lie down in a mortuary chamber. Hung doesn't like this, and tells them they don't have to do it if they are scared. But they both agree to lie down in it, and Hung and his dad lock them in the chambers. Now after some time, they begin hearing some noises there, due to which both of them get very scared and start calling for help. The priest asks Hung to light incense sticks, after which they put incense sticks outside their chambers and pull them out. The priest asks everyone to leave, and outside, Hung tells them that they are going to see more terrible things ahead, and that he can't guarantee their safety. He asks them to call it for day, but Xiaoling says she wants to see her husband today, and Mayoro says her sister died here, and she has to ask for something. The priest asks Hung to give them noon water filled with yang energy. As they lay in a mortuary chamber for quite a while, they are filled with yin energy, so if they encounter a more dangerous situation later, it may be able to keep them alive. Now after some time, priest and Hung see someone sitting on the corner of the hallway. So Hung takes out headphones from his bag and asks them to put them on. He tells them that they will hear the underworld sound. With this device, they will be able to locate their family. Then they all go ahead, but Mayoro's patience starts to break and she snatches his device from Hung. And as soon as she turns it on, a very loud sound comes out of it. Mayoro says that they must have already recorded this, which means they are both frauds. Hung tells her that she doesn't know how to use the device, until Xiaoling stops them and says that she heard something. She asks them for the device and places the mic near a door from behind where they hear very strange sounds. They all go inside the room where there is an operating table. The priest tells Mayoro that if she wants to meet her sister, she should put on a surgical gown and lie down on the table. But Xiaoling says that they should let her meet her husband first, because he died on this operating table. Now with the consent of the priest, she wears a gown and lies down on the table, and Hung pricks one of her fingers. The priest says that they can use the blood to attract the ghosts. Only then Xiaoling sees a faded image of her husband, and she cuts her finger even more. Now suddenly the lights start flickering there, and when Xiaoling opens her eyes, there is no one around her. Then she hears the voice of a child singing, and suddenly some ghosts haunt her. But Hung wakes her up. Now a scene from the past is shown in which Xiaoling is in the hospital with her husband, when Dr. Lin and a nurse come there, and the nurse tells them that Dr. Lin will perform the surgery this afternoon. Last night a fire broke out due to faulty wiring in the hospital's basement, and Dr. Chen broke his arm while helping to put out the fire. But her husband died during the surgery. Xiaoling says the doctor and nurses here killed him, but Mayoro says nurses here don't harm people. Hung stops them and tells Xiaoling that her yin energy is very heavy here today. If she wants to leave, do it now. Hearing this, Mayoro runs away and brings priest and Xiaoling to a room, where she tells them that her sister used to work here. Her sister was a nurse here, but because of over-fatigue, and people like Xiaoling, who blame medical personnel indiscriminately, she had a mental breakdown, and she accidentally fell out of the nursing station's window. Now we see Mayuru's sister Myoting in the hospital, where she gets a call from a law firm that Xiaoling had hired them to sue her for manslaughter and negligence. Myoting gets very disturbed by this, and only then does she get scared to see that child spirit there. She rushes to the washroom where she again gets haunted and flee, after which she committed suicide. Mayuru says if she doesn't see her sister today, none of them can leave. Xiaoling asks what does that have to do with them, and only then a spirit pulls Mayuru away and was about to throw her out of the window. But the priest saves her. Mayuru says she desperately wants to see her sister and she will pay him to double the amount for it, to which the priest shows her yin water and says she will surely see ghosts after using it. But whatever happens afterward is out of control. He then puts a drop of water in her eye, and Mayuru finds herself in the hospital. She sees that her sister is talking to someone on phone, and is very disturbed and exhausted. Mayuru then comes back and asks the priest to give her more yin water, but he says no, because if she uses it again, her yin energy will take over her yang energy. Mayuru tries to snatch that bottle from him, but in all this, the bottle falls and breaks, and Mayuru sees her sister sitting in a room. She runs there and closes the door, and very strong winds start blowing outside. Hung tells that spilled yin water has attracted wandering spirits and priests ask them to leave. But only then does a door open and a spirit comes out of it, with a doll in a wheelchair. They all get scared seeing this and priest asks them to hold their breath. That spirit stands right in front of them and enters inside the priest's body, due to which he becomes possessed. Hung asks his dad if he is okay, but he tries to attack him, and they both hide in a room. Then the priest also comes to that room and starts searching for them. But then he hears the voice of a child singing and he leaves there. Here Mayuru is again with her sister and she asks her why did she go away leaving her alone. Now here she was able to interact with her sister and she also hugs her. Her sister tells her that she need not be afraid because she is with her. And then they both jump out of the window. Here Hung tells Xiaoling that his dad seems possessed as he is in the last stage of cancer and his body is filled with yin energy. He then tells her that if she wants to see her husband, she must break the demon's control over him. But first, they have to get his dad's soul back. They then set out to find the priest, and Hung tells her that they will use yin water for this. The yin water will flow where the yin energy is heaviest, which is where the demon is. On the other hand, we see the priest in an operation theater, where an invisible power slits her abdomen. Here, Hung and Xiaoling are going upstairs following the yin water when they encounter the spirit. They try to flee but are stopped by the doll. Now that spirit starts moving towards them, but both of them stand holding their breath and after some time that spirit leaves from there. Suddenly she grabs Xiaoling by the throat from behind, but Hung drives her away by pouring yin water on her. After this, when they go ahead, they see many burnt spirits. Xiaoling asks Hung to take out his charm and Hung gives a charm to her. Then he says that what they are seeing now is an illusion created by the demon. Once she shows fear, the demon will have a chance to possess her. The only thing they can do now is to keep going forward. He then gives her a ghost oil that can protect her when she is in danger. They then move forward by reciting an incantation. But only then Xiaoling hears her husband's voice. Hung again tells her these are all illusions created by the demon and asks her not to look back. But she again hears her husband's voice and looks back. And only then they reaches into the past. Here they see a child admitted to the hospital and his nurse is Mayuru's sister Myoting. The mother of that child comes out of the room and Hung sees her, and says that she is the same ghost. After that, they go to that child's room and see that his health is deteriorating. Hung tells Xiaoling to press the button and goes to get help. Then some doctors and nurses come there and send Hung and Xiaoling out of the room. They try hard to save him but they fail in this and the child dies. Now his mother is deeply saddened by his death and starts crying sitting near his bed. Hung leaves the room and Xiaoling tells the child's mother that she knows the pain of losing a loved one. The reason she is here today is to see her late husband. She even thought that if she died too, maybe she can see him again. This way, they won't be separated. Hearing this, the lady leaves there and picks up the rubbing alcohol from a trolley. She then goes to the washroom to commit suicide, but Xiaoling follows her there and tries to stop her. But she locks Xiaoling in a bathroom, and then she hears Myoting's voice coming from another bathroom. Suddenly the lights of the bathroom go off and a spirit enters there and stands in front of his bathroom. A hand comes out of the pot and tries to reach her. But in the meantime, Xiaoling manages to open the door and sees the same doll here, which is actually the lady's child. Xiaoling runs away in fear of him and bumps into Hung. Hung enters the bathroom to check and says it might be a hallucination. And then Xiaoling says that the demon had alcohol with which she was trying to burn herself. Now again they start searching for Hung's dad, and we see the kid passing from behind them. Then Hung hears his dad's cough, but Xiaoling says she didn't hear anything. He hears the voice again and goes to find his dad. And then we see a scene from the past where the lady goes to her dead son, and she pours the alcohol over her. She then drinks the alcohol and finds a lighter there, and with that, she sets her dead son and herself on fire. Dr. Chen comes there to help, but falls and breaks his arm, and then Mayoding comes there and sees them burning. Here Xiaoling hears someone moaning in pain and reaches the room where her husband was admitted. On the other hand, Hung finds his dad in an injured condition, who apologizes to him and says that he never gave him freedom and always asked him to do this work. Just then Xiaoling also comes there and Hung tells her to let her see her loved ones. His dad has already turned this way. This hospital's malicious spirit is too strong and they can't stop it. But she says they guaranteed she will see her husband, and only then the demon appears in front of them. Hung tries to fight her, but she vanishes and throws him away. She then says she wants his heart for his son. The priest asks him to use the ghost oil, but the demon attacks him, and he asks Xiaoling to use the ghost oil he gave her. But the demon attacks her too. Now Hung summons the demon to distract her and the demon takes his heart out of his chest, while Xiaoling picks up the ghost oil and throws it on the demon, causing her to vanish. And Hung's heart also goes back into his chest. Hung tells Xiaoling that it's too dangerous here because now they have no weapons to fight the demon. Xiaoling says she must see her husband today, and asks the priest why she is unable to see the ghost. The priest tells her that he is at the last stage of cancer, with not even a month left to live, so he can see ghosts easily. Hearing this, she begins to leave. But Hung tells her that if she goes back there, she will never return, to which she says she came here planning for the worst. She thanks them and asks them to leave. Xiaoling then goes to the operating theater and cuts her wrist, after which her husband's spirit appears there. Here priest's health starts deteriorating, so he hands over all the money to Hung and asks him to get another job, after which he dies. Here Xiaoling tells her husband that she is pregnant and they are about to become parents. But then her husband starts crying and Xiaoling finds herself hanged in front of her. Hung hears someone's voice from outside and goes outside to ask for help. Now here we see the starting scene of the movie where Yanjin along with her team has come to explore this hospital. Her cameraman enters the hospital building and when Hung comes to ask for his help, we learn that he too is a spirit. The cameraman runs away seeing Mayoding's spirit and we see Hung, his dad, and the spirits of those two girls standing there. After this, we are shown the spirits of the demon and her son. And then we see Xiaoling's spirit wandering in the hospital and the movie ends here. Please like and subscribe to my channel and click the bell icon never to miss new video updates. Thanks for watching.